and say you'll miss me as I'll miss you. Love me, my honey, love me, like stars above me. Say you'll be true while away every day. I'll be thinking of you, dearie. Now don't grow weary, be bright and cheery, my honey-do. So, dear, before I go, dear, come on and kiss me, honey, I love you. Love makes the world go round. I've searched and at last I found the girl of my dreams, but how can I make her mine?
Kiss me, oh honey, kiss me, and say you'll miss
Ring down the curtain. There's something wrong with Eva Tanguay.
Okay, Mr. Zigfeld.
Curtain.
Pardon me.
Yes, sir?
I read in the paper that this studio is going to make a picture on Eva Tanguay's life. I know her story, and I'd like to tell it to someone here.
I guess that'd be George Jessel. He's producing the picture.
Oh, where can I find him?
You'll have to check the reception desk first. Right here in this building.
Thank you.
Yes?
Mr. Jessel, there's a man at reception wants to see you about the Eva Tanguay picture.
Oh, another one, huh?
Claims he knows all about her life.
So did all the others, and we talked to them. We found out they didn't know anything. Now, tell them I can't see him. Are the writers of this Tanguay script out there?
They're on their way over.
Good. When they get here, Babette, don't disturb me. Not unless the studio is burning down or Zanuck wants me.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell him. Sorry, but Mr. Jessel can't see anyone today.
Thank you. I'll try again.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
Well, G.J., how'd you like the script?
Simple, isn't it? Right on the nose.
It's all worthless.
Worthless.
Why?
I'll tell you why.
It simply tells us that Eva Tanguay was a madcap. But what made her a madcap? What made her the terror of all theatrical managers?
Maybe she had an unhappy childhood. Maybe her father beat her.
Nothing.
She could have been neurotic.
I don't want any psychoanalysis. I want to know about Eva Tanguay, the woman. Now, looky here. Boys, underneath these feathers and sequins and that wild mop of curls is a woman with a brain and a heart and a soul. And that's what I want to know about. Look at this. I don't care, girl cools off head waiter with ketchup bottle. Get this picture. The other fellow in the picture is Eddie McCoy. Yeah, if I remember correctly, that was her first partner. Say, if we could find him, he'd be a lot of help, wouldn't he? Might be out here in Hollywood. I think I saw him at the races in Delmar. Hello? Babette. Call up all the nightclubs in town. and the maskers and the Friars Club and see if the head waiters or the bartenders know of an old song and dance man called Eddie McCoy. If you can find him, have him make a date with Lawrence and Keene. Oh, that's right. Eddie McCoy. Good.
There you are, Mr. McCoy.
Thank you, Joe. This bourbon is going to prepare me for Mr. Jessel's scenario writers. You know, it's quite a shock when a couple of strangers walk up to you and demand the story of your life. My life. You know, it isn't going to be easy, Joe, looking back. That lady in the Bible, she turned to salt, you know. But they offered me so much money and all. And of course, it sort of depends on who they get to play me in the picture. Now, there's this Gene Kelly. He might be able to do my dances. But for looks, well, there's this Victor Mature. But he can't sing.
How about Dan Daly?
Well, there again, it's a question of looks. You see what I'm up against, Joe?
My name is Sidney.
Is that right? Well, all bartenders are Joe to me.
Should I tell you what all actors are to me?
Hey, Joe. Joe.
Mr. McCoy?
That's right, the real McCoy. You know, several years ago, I had so many imitators that they were forced to bill me as the real McCoy. That's where the expression started, you know. Or did you?
No, I always thought it started with a prize fighter.
Well, you're very young. Come on, let's sit down and have some dinner. Then we can talk it over. What'd you say your name was again?
Well, this is Lawrence, and I'm Keene.
It was in Indianapolis, many, many years ago that I first met Eva Tanguay.
Now I've traveled all over the USA, the same old cities in the same old way. I'm coming back here to settle down and make this my hometown, 'cause this is my favorite city. Say, this is my favorite town. I like the way the people meet you. They greet you with a smile and not a frown. And when my rambling is over, this is where I'm gonna settle down. And if someone should say, where are you from, Tom, I can proudly say that this is my favorite town. I'm only fooling, this is my favorite town.
That's good enough, Eddie. Don't milk it.
Okay, you're the manager.
I want to talk with you, Eddie. You've got a nice act, but I miss Mabel Shannon.
You miss her. What about me? She was my wife.
I know. I think the audience misses her, too.
No, you're just not used to me doing a single. You managers are all alike. Once it's McCoy and Shannon, you can never think of one name without the other. Well, Shannon's gone, and it's Eddie McCoy from now on, alone. More alone than you realize, Joe.
My name is Ned.
Sorry, but nobody will ever replace Mabel.
Maybe not. It would take a very special kind of a person. Mabel had a lot of stuff.
I taught her everything she knew.
Well, that's what I mean. You could do the same for another girl.
Think so?
You need a girl in the act, Eddie. I know it, and so does the Keith office. Think it over.
I didn't take supper that evening where I might run into my fellow artists, but chose instead an obscure little street off the main drag. I don't know whether you fellows believe in fate, but what else could have made me turn into that particular restaurant?
Say, what? Eva! Here.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Oh, don't bother with the menu. Just order scrambled eggs.
What about the goulash?
You're safer with the eggs. Did you say scrambled eggs, sir?
Scrambled eggs.
And coffee with plenty of cream. You look undernourished. 2 nice eggs for a real nice guy and muss 'em up. You got a nickel?
What's this, a down payment on the scrambled eggs?
Well, I thought you might like your eggs with music.
Okay.
On the Mississippi, where those boats go puffing along. On the Mississippi, darkies all go dippy when they hear that little bitty ragtime melody. It seems I hear them singing, see them barking, winging, to the banjos ringing. Oh, my heart is singing to the Mississippi, dear old Mississippi. That's where I was born.
Good, that's very good. Where'd you get that step?
Oh, I made it up.
You got any more like it?
Sure.
Dum dee dum bum yada da dum. Oh!
Something compelled me to follow her out. It wasn't just because she'd lost her job trying to entertain me. I felt this girl had talent. And I was also thinking of what that vaudeville manager had said. I needed a girl in my act.
Are you following me, sir?
Well, yes, but not the way you think.
Well, how many ways are there?
Well, if you'll put that dancing slipper back on, I'll explain. I'm Eddie McCoy. Does that mean anything to you? Do you go to Keith's Theater?
Yes, but I haven't been this week.
Well, I'm playing there this week. Eddie McCoy, the merry-monologist.
Well, that's very merry, but that's no excuse for following me upstairs.
Well, the reason I was following you is, well, you see, my wife passed away, and I need a girl. What I mean to say is this. It wasn't you I was following. It was your talent. Now, if we could go someplace and talk, I'd tell you what I mean.
Well, it's kind of late, and I'm still in my work clothes.
Well, that's okay. You just say where you want to go, and I'll take you there. I don't suppose you're hungry.
Are you kidding? Do you think I'd eaten schnabels?
Well, how about the palm room with the clay pool?
Well, if I'm going to be picked up, I might just as well be put down in an expensive place. You wait downstairs, and I'll down myself up a little.
That's all right with me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that slipper stuff.
Oh, honey, we'll drink champagne from it. Eva jumped at the chance to get into show business. And when I left Indianapolis, she went with me. For the next few weeks, I taught her all I knew. Then one day on a matinee in Youngstown, Ohio, I put her in my act. She was a hit.
Everybody loves a baby, that's why I'm in love with you, pretty baby.
Pretty baby, oh, I'd like to be your sister, brother, dad, and mother, too. Pretty baby.
Pretty baby, won't you come and let me rock you in my cradle of love?
Oh, you'd cuddle all the time.
Oh, I want a lovin' baby, and it might as well be you.
Pretty baby of mine. Too. Pretty baby.
Pretty baby.
Eva, come to my dressing room as soon as you've changed. I want to give you a few pointers before tonight's performance.
Okay.
I need you, my dear. Wish you were here. Oh, how I long for the sound of your voice. So I'm telephoning hello, Frisco, hello. How do you do, my dear? I only wish that you were here.
Hello, Frisco, hello. How is the fare out there? They tell me that it is a bear.
Don't keep me waiting.
It's aggravating.
Why can't you hurry, Central? You're so slow.
Gotta get through somehow.
Oh,
I can hear you now.
hello,
Hello,
Frisco,
Frisco.
hello.
Dearie, I bought the ring and I've arranged for everything.
You know I love you so.
We'll be together soon and then we'll have a honeymoon.
Your voice is like music to my ear.
When I close my eyes, you seem so near.
Frisco, I called you up to say hello. Hello, Frisco, hello.
Gee, but your voice is cute. You better be starting back en route.
Hello, Frisco, hello.
Better come back to me. You're spending all your salary.
Yes, dear, I hear you.
Wish I were near you.
Oh, Central, won't you please get off the wire?
Time is trickling.
Oh.
Put a nickel in.
Hello, Frisco, hello.
Though it's a party line, I hope you say you will be mine.
You know I love you so.
See you in Kalamazoo, love you 23 skidoo.
Your voice is like music to my ear.
When I close my eyes, you seem so near.
Frisco, I called you up to say
hello.
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 Get ahead in show business. Stay away from baritones, piano players, and acrobats. the balance of the week, it was a tug of war between Larry Woods and Charlie Bennett for Eva's affections. Charlie kept in there plugging, but from where I sat on the sidelines, it looked to me like Eva had lost her heart to Larry.
Good morning, Eva. If I may call you Eva.
Good morning, Mr. Charles.
Charlie. Sorry I'm late. Somebody changed my call to 10:30.
Now, who would do a thing like that?
What's that you're playing? If I'm not mistaken. My song.
Your song? Well, it has Mr. Wood's name on it, too.
You help me a little with the verse. Has that skunk been here this morning?
He just went out for some coffee.
Eva, I'm going to talk to you like good old Uncle Charlie. What kind of a line has that partner of mine been handing you?
Line? He's been very sweet.
Very sweet. Crooning songs in your ear that were meant just for you?
Yes.
Telling you ought to be doing a single?
Yes.
Did you notice he plays an amazing left hand when he demonstrates a song?
What of it?
Listen, my dear, it's the same routine in every town we play when there's a pretty girl like you. Only with one girl, he didn't get away with it. She became Mrs. Larry Woods.
You mean he's married?
Did you ever hear of Polly Pizzicato and her talking violin? Mrs. Larry Woods.
Well, why aren't they together?
Well, she's been booked on the Pantasia circuit this season, and Larry's playing keys. So every week something like this happens.
Nothing has happened, Mr. Bennett. Your partner has just been friendly.
Listen, Eva, you're new in this business, and as Eddie said, you'll go far. But you gotta watch these fast-working fellas. You'll observe I use both hands when I play.
Well, good morning, Mr. Bennett.
Good morning, Mr. Woods.
I trust you slept well?
Very well, thank you.
Did you bring enough coffee for Uncle Charlie?
No, I'm afraid I didn't.
I had my coffee.
Sugar, Larry?
Yes, thanks. 2 lumps.
Cream?
Yes, please. I hope that's hot enough.
Oh, well, now I think that's just about right.
Hey, what?
Next time you see Polly Pizzicato, tell her another girl didn't let you get away with it.
What have you been telling her, you skunk?
Wait a minute. That's my name for you. Now I'll have to think of another one.
The time has come when I must bust you in the nose, Mr. Bennett.
I'm prepared for it. Bust away!
What's going on out there?
It's Bennett and Woods.
Rehearsing? That stuff will never go. Too rough. Too rough. We left Youngstown and played the rest of the circuit. Though Eva never mentioned his name again, I knew that Larry Woods wasn't out of her mind for a minute. But there was no stopping her career. When we finally hit New York, my heart started kicking up. And Eva went on alone.
They say I'm crazy, got no sense, but I don't care. They may or may not mean offense, but I care less. You see, I'm sort of independent, of a clever race descendant. My star is on the ascendant, that's why I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what they may think of me. I'm happy-go-lucky, men say that I'm plucky, so jolly and carefree. I don't care. I don't care if I do get the mean and stony stare. My voice may sound funny, but it's getting me the money, so I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if people don't like me. I'll try to outlive it, so I'll forgive it and live contentedly. I don't care. I don't care if people do not try to treat me fair. For anything thrilling, I'm ready and willing, 'cause I don't care.
Charlie Bennett, what are you doing here?
I got a great idea, Eddie. A new act for Eva. A great act.
Now we're getting somewhere. The real, true story of Eva Tanguay. Now, you fellas go see Charlie Bennett. Don't waste a minute. See him right away.
Well, we're trying to make an appointment now.
Bennett's a very busy man, G.J.
He's a busy man. He should go through what I have to do, making 5 moving pictures, speeches, benefits. Every drive in this town, they come to me. Yes?
Mr. Jessel, that same gentleman is here again to see you about the Eva Tanguay story.
Again, the same gentleman. Tell him that I'm busy and that I can't see him. Tell him I'm in conference. I'll be in conference for 5 months. Every day, the same fella. Now, when are you going to see Charlie Bennett?
Well, he might see us tomorrow morning.
Good. As soon as you see him, contact me immediately.
Well, where will you be?
I'll be right at this desk. I won't leave this desk until I hear from you. Zanuck wants me.
And that's as far as we got with McCoy. He told us all he could remember.
Well, boys, it's an interesting story. Gay, dramatic, sentimental. Too bad it isn't true.
Well, what do you mean?
Oh, part of it's true. There was a thing called vaudeville. Eva Tanguay did sing songs. And I, at one time, did have a partner named Larry Woods. We never had a quarrel in our lives. We parted the best of friends, and he eventually became a Ziegfeld star.
But did he marry Eva Tanguay?
Is that all you want to know, or do you want the whole story?
Oh, the whole story.
Of course, the truth.
Well, in the first place, Eddie McCoy was never a vaudeville headliner. And Eva Tanguay was never a waitress. Oh, he picked her up in the restaurant, all right. But she was an entertainer, been singing at cafes ever since she was a kid. With no great success, because she never had the right coaching. That's where I came in.
When McCoy had the heart attack.
Heart attack? McCoy had a heart like a horse. You want to know why I really didn't go on that opening night in New York?
Sure. Certainly.
I'll tell you. It was at Keith's Alhambra Theater. The big headliner was Miss Stella Forrest.
Eddie McCoy, put that bottle down.
That's what I'm doing, putting it down.
Miss Forrest, what's going on up there?
You tell me, Mr. Manager. That's why I sent for you.
It sounds like McCoy and Tanguay.
What kind of people are on this bill with me anyway?
Eddie, will you stop playing with that goat? Eddie, will you listen to me? For the last time, Eddie, will you get rid of that goat and get dressed? It's almost overture time.
Please, Eva, you've offended her again. Do not refer to Trixie as that goat. You must have more respect for my new protege. After all, you were a protege yourself, remember?
Eddie, try and hide the goat and act sober. It's probably the manager.
What's going on up here, McCoy? Are you intoxicated?
No, Mr. Melnick, I am drunk. And this, my dear fellow, is what I'm as drunk as. Trixie, this is Mr. Melnick.
Oh, he'll be all right, Mr. Melnick, if you just send someone up here to get that goat out and have the property man bring up some ice. I'll see that he goes on sober.
I'm not going on without Trixie. A brand new act, Mr. Melnick. A comedy drunk routine. And like all great artists, I am living the part. Eva, hand me that bottle of bourbon.
You're not going on, McCoy. Not at my theater. Could you go on alone, Miss Tanguay?
Oh, I don't know. I've gone on alone out of town when Eddie's been sick. But New York, I don't know if I can.
I'm all right, I tell you. Old Trixie and I'll go on and kid the audience. Kid the audience, get it?
Eddie, you've got to sober up. Our agent will take him to a steam bath, Mr. Melnick, and he'll be just fine by tonight.
Never mind tonight. I just want you to play this afternoon, Miss Tanguay. I'll have a replacement by tonight.
I've got your new replacement. Trixie.
Shut up! Haven't you done enough? You shut up, too! Do you realize we're canceled? Our opening day in New York. Oh, Mr. Melnick, please. I'll need an accompanist.
An accompanist? Come with me. The best accompanist in vaudeville is now visiting Miss Forrest in her dressing room. I hope that goat behaves himself.
Long as you care, pom, 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 pom. This song's right up your alley, Stella.
Very good. Excellent. Come in.
Excuse me, Miss Forrest. Charlie, can I speak to you for a minute?
Just a moment, Mr. Melnick. Sorry, then.
Eva! Eva! Eva Tanguay!
Charles!
You're playing with the beat, maestro. You're turning on the heat, bravo. Fortissimo, the tune, ho-ho. Arrivederci soon, mama. Come on and come and stop, papa. You better veni qua, signor. It's time for sweet romance, signor. Time for the dance. Bella, bella, polka-tella. Bella, bacci-prelude. Hey, mamma mia. Poco, poco, rococo, asta. Pasta, zool, zig-zig. Funiculi, cosi, zag-zag. Funicula, cosa, zoom, zoom. Chibaba-la, romance, why, yo. It's time to do the dance.
Yarmo, pasta la fazoon, choo-choo.
A little pizza,
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
a little mozzarella.
See.
Bring on the muscatel.
Dance around.
Ching, ching. You do a zigaro.
Ping, ping, ping.
You sing a Figaro.
Bing, 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 bing.
Salute a razzmatazz.
Ding, ding, ding.
Luigi, play that thing.
Well, what do you think of her? Wasn't I right, Mr. Zigfeld?
She's all right. I'll think about her.
I think she's wonderful.
Come in.
Well, well, Mr. Malnick. Come back to congratulate our little girl? Wasn't she great out there?
Yes, indeed. Great.
Thank you, Mr. Melnick.
You were so great, I'm forced to cancel you off the bill.
What?
Stella Forrest's orders. And I can't do anything about it. Her contract calls for approval of her supporting bill. And she's a big attraction. She pulls them in.
Yeah, and Eva entertains them.
That's right. And very soon the name of Tanguay may be pulling them in. But now, what Stella Forrest says goes.
So Eva went into the Zigfeld Follies. But she never forgave Stella Forrest for what she had done to her.
Mm-hmm. Very nice, Sophie, very nice. Now, let's see. Don, I wish you'd, Oh, here she is. Good morning, Miss Tanguay.
Good morning, Mr. Zigfeld.
Folks, I want you to meet Eva Tanguay, newest addition to the Follies. Oh, I believe you know Larry Woods.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Woods?
We appeared on the same bill in vaudeville, didn't we?
Did we?
You'll be doing a song with Larry.
Well, I'd love to hear it.
Good. Larry, take Eva downstairs and play it for her.
Delighted. This way, Miss Tanguay.
Here I go again.
Jack, let's have the young ladies over here, please.
Been a long time, Eva.
Yes, hasn't it?
You know, I wrote you so many times, but you never answered.
Well, I had nothing to say. We knew each other only a minute, and in that minute you hurt me.
Well, that proves I mean something to you.
Does it? Now, could I hear the song, please?
Sure. It'll sound better from over here.
I listen standing up these days. Go ahead and play.
As long as you care, I don't care. Let the world do what it pleases. I'm in love. As long as you care, I don't care. Winter winds are April breezes. I'm in love. Just to see your eyes aglow and know the thrill of your kiss. Angels would say heaven was never like this. As long as you're there, I'll be there. Anywhere, I don't care. As long as you care.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Eva. Eva, wait.
Let me go.
But I've got to talk to you.
I'm a big girl now, Mr. Slicker, and I don't fall for sweet talk anymore. I can spot a married man a mile away.
If you just listen, you wouldn't talk that way.
Are you going to let me go?
No, not until I'm finished. Eva, I've been crazy about you from the first minute I saw you. And I'll always feel that way, no matter what happens.
Is that all?
No, it isn't. All right, so I was on the prowl when I first met you, sure. But something happened that morning in Youngstown.
You bet it did. I found out about your wife.
Eva, listen, please. When I married Polly, I was in love with her. And I tried to make our marriage work, but it couldn't. You see, Polly never cared for me, really. The answer is she left me. Oh, she was going to get a divorce, sure. That's what she wanted. Then I started doing good, making a little money. And now it's a different story. Eva, you and I, we hardly know each other. And I suppose this sounds crazy, but, well, if I were free, I'd ask you to marry me right now. Okay, you can go. That's all I wanted to say.
Won't Polly ever give you a divorce?
Sure. If I give her the First National Bank and my right arm.
We'll give her the bank. But hang on to that arm. It might come in handy.
Eva. Eva, darling.
Mr. Woods! Oh, Mr. Woods, you wanted on the telephone.
Later.
But it's Stella Forrest, and she's calling all the way from Boston.
Stella Forrest.
Now, look, it's only business. We played together on the Orpheum circuit last year.
So?
So she heard a couple of my songs and was thinking of buying them. Now, that's all this is, I'm sure.
Tell Miss Forrest that from now on, Mr. Woods is selling his songs to only one customer. Me.
The Zigfeld touch was magic for Eva. Before long, she was a star. It was on an opening night of the new Zigfeld Follies.
Working for Flo, we know it pays to advertise. Though we can act or sing or dance or anything we know, you like us very much. It's that certain magical something. It's that
Come in. Oh, honey, I was wondering if you were coming in. How was my new number?
Oh, you were great. You were gorgeous, and I love you.
Oh.
Eva, your hair is a forest fire. I could stamp it out with kisses.
Well, stamp out of here and let me get dressed for the second act.
Got a lot of wires, I see.
Uh-huh.
But I got the best one. From Polly.
And?
I'll be a free man in 6 weeks.
Oh, honey.
Know of a nice girl who'd care to marry me?
Oh. Come in.
Second act, Miss Tanguay.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, honey, I may be late for your party tonight. I'm playing the score for that operetta I told you about.
Oh, speaking of operettas, you know who's out front tonight and in the third row?
Who was it, honey?
Stella Forrest.
Stella Forrest?
In the flesh, and she's put on a lot of it, too. Now, what were you saying about your operetta?
Oh, well, just that I'm playing it. You know, the one I wrote with Bennett? I think I mentioned it to you. Well, I'm playing it tonight, that's all.
That's wonderful, darling. Who's going to hear it?
What?
Your operetta. Who are you playing it for?
Oh, a big producer and a fellow with dough. You know, nothing may come of this, but anyway, I'll be late for your party. Do you mind?
Of course I don't mind. Not if it's going to do you some good. You go and you stay as long as you have to. But you hurry back to me right away.
That girl obviously doesn't care.
Man, that cat is crazy.
I'm happy-go-lucky, men say that I'm plucky, so jolly and carefree.
Shucks, that girl's plumb indifferent.
I don't care. I don't care. If I do get the mean and stony stare. If I'm not successful, won't be distressful, 'cause I don't care.
She's evil, honey.
Clara, you're so right. That girl just doesn't care. That girl has got to go.
I don't care. I don't care what people think of me. I'm happy-go-lucky, men say that I'm plucky, so jolly and carefree. I don't care. I don't care if I do get the mean and stony stare. I'm Eva Tanguay. I don't give a hangway, and I don't care. No, no. I don't care. No, no. Believe me, I don't
Has Mr. Woods called? No, Miss Tanguay, I haven't heard a word from him. Shall I serve supper after Paderewski gets finished? Not a morsel until my fella gets here.
No encores?
Thanks, Charlie.
Oh, what a heady drink.
It's delicious.
A tender feeling suddenly comes stealing, and here comes love again.
I love that song. And to think that Larry is playing it this minute in your apartment. How can you bear not to be there?
You'll do better alone, believe me. You know, Eva, when I fixed this up for Larry, I was worried. I was afraid you wouldn't understand. He was sure you would.
Well, what do you mean, why shouldn't I?
Well, you know, you and Stella Forrest aren't exactly chumps.
Stella Forrest, what's she got to do with it?
What's she, Stella? Oh, brother, you mean he... But he said...
Charlie, what are you trying to say?
I have no in my mouth.
Oh, yes, you have. And you said Stella Forrest.
Forget it, Eva.
Charlie, explain. Is Larry in your apartment playing that score for Stella Forrest? Is he alone with that dame?
Here comes love again. Who knows where or when love steals your heart in the moonlight? A tender feeling suddenly comes stealing, and here comes love again. One more kiss and then the old love gives way to the new. But darling, every time I fall in love, I fall in love again with you.
Oh, it's beautiful, Larry. But you must switch the words around so that I can sing and not the leading man. After all, this is the hit song, my pet.
But you do like it.
The show? It's divine. And if you let anyone else play it but me, I'll sue you.
And you think Maxie will produce it?
Oh, Maxie, he does anything I say.
Now, that's wonderful.
By the way, does my dear friend, Miss Tanguay, know that you're playing this for me?
Well, no, I thought I'd tell her after you'd heard it.
Well, I've heard it and I like it. And I like you, too. Will you tell Eva that?
Sure.
You don't think she'll be jealous? I mean, if I play in your operetta.
No, she'll understand.
Larry, you're sweet. And you have a lot of talent. But you've got a lot to learn about women. And where two girls like Forrest and Tanguay are concerned, I wouldn't count on too much understanding.
You're so right, Miss Forrest.
Oh! Will you listen to me?
No.
It's the truth.
I said no. I don't believe any part of it.
You gotta see him. He's going crazy.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's Stella Forrest's worry now, not mine. Besides, I'm going on tour. A long tour. I'm going to Boston, Chicago, San Francisco, Tokyo, Bali, Bali. Any place to get away from here.
Eva, you're taking all this too seriously.
I am. What would you do if the most important thing in your whole life fell apart, Charlie? Would you sing? Or would you laugh, Charlie? Or maybe you'd dance. All right?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. Okay, I'll go. But just believe this. Larry loves you.
War! Miss Eva, we're in the war. What? We're in the war against Germany. President Wilson just declared it.
Oh, no. No.
War. Larry's waiting. I better go.
Oh, Charlie. I will see Larry.
You will?
Oh, this thing makes our fight seem so silly. And I do want to believe in him now so very much.
Eva, it makes me happy for the both of you.
Never mind, Dolly. I'll get it. Thank you. Tell him I'll be waiting here, won't you, Charlie?
I'm on my way.
Charlie! Charlie! You said that Larry hadn't seen Stella, didn't you?
Yeah, sure.
Well, look at this. It's an invitation for me to be at the All-Star Annual Show Sunday night. And look at the bottom line. Stella Forrest and Larry Woods. Oh, yes, they're an act. They're a team.
But Eva, this doesn't mean a thing.
They haven't seen each other. Not once, huh? Not once.
It's the truth.
How did they rehearse their act? By mail?
Will you listen to me?
I'm tired of listening to you.
Stop losing your head.
You want to lose yours?
Ooh.
And you can tell him I just declared war, too. Dolly, run out and get me 2 tickets to that show Sunday night. Don't just stand there. Hurry.
Yes'm.
Get me Gleason's Market. I want to place an order for Sunday night. I want some ripe tomatoes. Some very ripe tomatoes, and I want a strong boy to deliver them. That's exactly what I said. Some ripe tomatoes and a strong boy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet the author of my new show, and my leading man, Mr. Larry Woods. Before Mr. Woods comes on, I want to explain that the costume he's wearing is not a stage costume at all. He'll be wearing it from now on. Larry Woods.
Mail came in. Picked up yours, too. Here.
Oh, thanks, Pete. Hello, this Mike's place? Does Eddie McCoy happen to be there? Please, would you put him on?
Sure. It's for you, Mr. McCoy. Thank you, Joe. Hello?
Eddie, I've been tracking you down all over town. Did you read about Eva?
Yeah, I did. And I can't tell you how it affected me. She's like my own daughter. When she suffers, I suffer. Sure, I want to help her. What can I do? All right, I'll find her. Then what? Okay, I'll get Charlie to help me. His head's much better now. Yeah. Oh, don't you worry about a thing, Larry. Eddie McCoy's words is bond. Ain't you gonna finish your drink, Mr. McCoy? No, Joe. I've got a very important mission, and much depends on how I carry it out. And as Shakespeare said, drink provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Macbeth, Act 2, Scene 3.
Eva, you gotta pull yourself together.
I don't want to pull myself together.
She hasn't slept for a week.
I can't sleep. I keep dreaming about tomatoes.
Don't you want to talk about Larry?
Oh, he'd hate me for what I did.
I don't think so. Don't you want to see him, Eva?
How can I see him? I don't even know where he is.
Eva, President Wilson begged me not to tell anybody, but Larry's at Camp Lee in Maryland.
And Eva, my nephew's at the same camp. They're sending those boys overseas every day.
Oh, I've got to see Larry before he goes. Dolly, get me some clothes.
What would you want to wear?
Anything.
And don't forget to put that smile back on your face.
Oh. Can I get in to see him?
I think so. I got a pass for you.
Oh, Eddie, bless you. Where can I find Sergeant Lawrence Woods? I have a pass.
It's a big camp, lady. He could be in that detail, but I'll check.
Thank you.
Hey! Why didn't you stop her?
You stop her. We've been trying for years.
Now, men, you've all been selected for this operation because of your backgrounds in show business. We're gonna put on the best show that any Army camp ever put on. But remember this, you're still soldiers, and we're gonna take Broadway like soldiers taking an enemy town. We're gonna kill them, and we're gonna lay them in the aisles at the Hippodrome next week. Sergeant Woods.
Yes, sir.
I'll hold you responsible for this group of men. Rehearsals in 10 minutes, barracks 44. And cut! Hola!
Oh, Larry, darling. Thank heavens I got here in time. Oh, darling, if you'd gone without my seeing you, I'd never have forgiven myself. Can you ever forgive me?
Oh, Eva, darling.
I want you to go knowing I love you. How much time do we have before you go to France?
Well, Eva, you got this all wrong.
I know. It's harder on you than it is on me, and I should be brave. But when I think of France, and those trenches, and those heinies aiming their guns at you, you must promise that you'll be careful.
Well, if it's gotta be, it's gotta be. But I'll be careful now for your sake.
I'll write every day, twice a day.
It's almost 9, Eva.
9 o'clock. Is that the 0 hour?
Well, that's when we start. We'll have a wonderful life together when this is all over.
Oh, I hope it'll be over soon.
Well, not too soon. The lieutenant wants us to knock 'em cold, kill 'em. Well, that means a long run.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Will you be in the front lines?
Well, I hope so. After all, I was with Zigfeld, and that ought to guarantee me a pretty good part in this shindig.
Shindig. You can joke about it. Oh, that's my Larry. Brave, courageous, hopeful.
Yeah, that's me.
My hero.
Sergeant Woods!
Yes, sir.
Break it up. I can't hold that chorus line all night, and you may as well learn right now not to be late for rehearsals.
Rehearsals?
Say, aren't you Eva Tanguay?
Larry, what's this about rehearsals?
Well,
Goodbye, Broadway. Camp Lee's all-soldier show, opening Hippodrome, New York, May 6th.
Well, I tried to tell you about it, but you would act that big farewell scene. So I just played straight for you, that's all.
Oh, you big conceited baritone!
Aren't you Eva Tanguay?
No, I'm not. I'm a German spy, and the Kaiser just sent me over to assassinate this ham.
That was a fine trick, making me think you were going overseas.
I hope I do go overseas. I'll be safer with the Germans.
I'm getting out of here.
You're not alone.
Why, you ungrateful...
And so Bennett and McCoy left camp right away.
Well, and then what? Well, that's it, G.J. That's the end of Bennett's story.
What do you mean it's the end? It can't be the end. We can't finish a musical comedy picture with an unhappy ending, with the boy and girl apart and fighting at the sides? No, no.
But that's all Bennett told us.
Well, something must have happened after that. Yes?
Mr. Jessel, it's that same man about the Eva Tanguay story again. Can't you see him for just a minute?
All right, send him in. Now, look, you gotta find out something. We cannot leave this story hanging in thin air. The boy and girl apart yet. This is absurd. Yes, sir.
My name is Woods.
How are you? You fellas should... Woods? Are you by any chance Larry Woods?
Why, yes. Larry Woods?
Larry Woods!
Boy, are we glad to see
You certainly came at the right time.
Mr. Woods, you are heaven sent indeed. Come right in here and make yourself comfortable. Sit down. Have a cigar. Well, well. Where have you been all this time?
Waiting outside your door for 2 weeks.
How do you like that, waiting outside? I'll fire that girl if it's the last thing I do. Please sit down and believe me, this will never happen again.
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Woods, we've hit a snag in the Eva Tanguay story, and you are the one man who can help us out.
Why, I'll be happy to. I'll start at the beginning. Now, let me see. I was born in Perth Amboy, New Jersey on August the 11th.
Look, Mr. Woods, what we want to find out is this. What happened between you and Eva after you had that fight at Camp Lee?
Oh, yes, of course, Eva. Well, when I came back from France, Eva was waiting for me. Everything was fine, and we went right back into show business together.
Ha-ha! That's it. Now we have it.
I can still see Eva now, in a blaze of glory.
Broadway. Old Market Street down by the Frisco Bay. I've strolled the Prado, I've gambled on the bar. The 7 wonders of the world I've seen. Many are the places I've been. Take my advice, folks, see Beale Street first. You'll see pretty Browns in beautiful gowns. You'll see some tailor-mades and hand-me-downs. You'll meet honest men and pickpocket skill. You'll find that business never ceases till somebody gets killed. I'd rather be here than any place I know. Than any place I know. I'd rather be here than any place I know. Any place, any place, any place. There's nothing in this world could ever make me go. could talk, if Beale Street could talk, married men would have to pick up their feet and walk, except one or two who never drink booze, and the blind man on the corner who says, I've got my eye on you. I'd rather be here than any place I know. I'd rather be here than any place I know. No matter what you say, you'll never make me go.
See pretty browns in beautiful gowns. You'll see some tailor-mades and hand-me-downs. You'll meet honest men and pickpockets skilled. You'll find that business never ceases till somebody gets killed. If Beale Street could talk, if Beale Street could talk, married men would have to pick up their feet and walk, except one or two who never drink booze, and the blind man on the corner who says, I've got my eye on you. I'd rather be there, I'd rather be there than any place I know.
Street will get ya, you better watch out.
I'd rather be there,
I'd rather be there.
place I know. Beale Street will get ya, you better watch out. There's nothing in this world could ever make me go. Beale Street, Beale Street, Beale Street, Beale Street will get ya. I've got those Beale Street blues.
Swell. Great. Wonderful.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I just wanted to see how it finished.